WikiLeaks about these so-called endless wars, what has been the real high-value material that has come out that has given people, ordinary people if you like, the kind of information upon which they can then act?
Looking at the enormous quantity and diversity of these military or intelligence apparatus insider documents, what I see is a vast, sprawling estate, what we would traditionally call the military intelligence complex or military industrial complex, and that this sprawling industrial estate is growing, becoming more and more secretive, becoming more and more uncontrolled. This is not a sophisticated conspiracy controlled at the top. This is a vast movement of self-interest by thousands and thousands of players all working together and against each other to produce an end result, which is Iraq and Afghanistan and Colombia and keeping that going. So what I see is we should, we often deal with tax havens and people hiding assets and transferring money through offshore tax havens. So I see some really quite remarkable similarities. Guantanamo is used for laundering people to an offshore haven, which doesn't follow the rule of law that we would normally expect. Tax haven is used for hiding people's assets, laundering people's assets through a jurisdiction which doesn't follow the rule of law that we would expect in our home countries. Similarly, Iraq and Afghanistan and Colombia are used to wash money out of the US tax base and back.
Arms companies.
Arms companies, yeah. And the generals and so on, which are, if you like, non-profit versions. So that you can't just, or you can't always pull out $2 billion from the US tax base and just say, hey, let's give it to an arms company straight away with no expectation of doing any work. But if you say this $2 billion has got to go into Colombia, but the Colombian government has to buy US arms, and those arms have to be of a particular type, particular specification that only one of these arms companies has, then that's just a way of laundering this back into the United States.
What you're saying